There are moments in life when we reach a threshold where a single choice, one decision, sets into motion events that will forever change us. This is the point of no return, the Rubicon. The moment when we step forward, knowing we can never go back. History remembered Julius Caesar's fateful decision to cross the Rubicon River, igniting a series of events that would change Rome and the world forever. Even so, in our own lives, we're exploring these Rubicon moments, the irreversible choices that alter our path and shape who we are meant to become. We all face these moments. Sometimes they arrive quietly. Other times they come crashing in like a storm, leaving no time to think, only to act. Maybe you've felt it, the decision to leave a secure job to chase your passion, to move across the country without a clear plan, or to walk away from a relationship that no longer serves you. It's terrifying, but it's also empowering. These decisions mark the beginning of new chapters, where life takes on a momentum you can't always predict, but one you must embrace. As we make these life-altering decisions, every choice creates ripples. The initial splash might seem small, quitting a job, deciding to follow a dream, but the impact spreads far beyond what we see in the moment. This is the ripple effect that ensues after you've crossed your Rubicon. When you cross your Rubicon, it's not just your life that changes. Everything and everyone around you is affected too. It may not always be visible right away, but it's there. The decision to follow a path sets off a chain reaction, sometimes bringing opportunities, other times bringing challenges that force you to grow. Take a moment to reflect on the ripples your choices have created. It could be quitting a secure job to pursue a passion, ending a toxic relationship, making a life-defining commitment such as marriage or parenthood, moving to a new country or city, choosing to forgive or not in a deeply wounded relationship, pursuing an education or career change later in life, standing up for your beliefs regardless of consequences, breaking away from family expectations, starting over after a major setback, example divorce or loss of a loved one, or investing in a significant project or venture, and so on. Think about how a single decision sets off events you couldn't have predicted. Life doesn't stop when you cross that river. It flows outward, reaching places and people you never expected. After the ripple effect that crossing your Rubicon sets in motion, there's the butterfly effect. It's the idea that even the smallest action, like a butterfly flapping its wings, can set off a hurricane on the other side of the world. Sometimes the Rubicon we cross doesn't come with grand, life-changing decisions, but with smaller, almost imperceptible choices. A message you send, a choice you take, a yes or no to an opportunity. At the time, it may seem insignificant, but those tiny choices have the power to lead to monumental shifts in your life. It's only later when you look back that you realize how profound those small choices really were. They ripple out, intertwining with other events, creating shifts that bring new people, new experiences, and often new challenges. Never underestimate the power of those subtle moments. They may be the very turning points that shape your future. As a result of these shifts, you may sometimes find yourself walking on thin ice. Crossing the Rubicon can feel like that. It is risky. The ground beneath you might crack, you might stumble, and the uncertainty is paralyzing. We hesitate because we fear the unknown, the failure, the mistakes. But it is in these moments of risk that we build resilience. We learn to trust ourselves even when the path ahead is unclear. Every time you cross your Rubicon, you step into an arena where failure is a possibility, but so is growth. And the beauty of walking on thin ice is that with every step, you prove to yourself that you can keep moving, even when the path seems uncertain. The cracks don't break you, they teach you. And here comes the domino effect. One choice leading to another. When you cross that Rubicon, the dominoes begin to fall. One choice leads to another, and before you know it, everything is in motion. The domino effect is powerful. Once you start, there's no turning back. It's overwhelming at times, but it's also how we evolve. Every domino that falls leads you closer to the person you're meant to be. You might feel overwhelmed by the momentum of your decisions, but trust that every action has a purpose. Sometimes, all you need to do is allow the sequence to unfold, knowing that everything will eventually fall into place, even if it's messy at first. There's also the tipping point, the moment when everything shifts and there's no going back. Once you've made that decision, once you've crossed the Rubicon, you reach this place where indecision ends and commitment begins. It's where your energy aligns fully with your choice. And while it may feel scary, it's also liberating. In my own life, reaching the tipping point felt like a release. It was that moment when the weight of indecision lifted and I stepped fully into my path. It wasn't easy, but it was necessary, and it was freeing. And just when you feel as though you've finally figured it out, sometimes crossing the Rubicon feels like opening Pandora's box. You make the leap, and suddenly, everything you thought you had under control starts to unravel. The unknown rushes in, and it can feel like chaos. But just like in the myth of Pandora, there is always hope. Inside the chaos lies the opportunity for growth, transformation, and new beginnings. So, what happens when you cross your own Rubicon? You set off a ripple effect. You embrace the subtle changes of the butterfly effect. You walked on a thin ice, but in doing so, you build resilience. You trigger the domino effect, creating momentum in your life. Eventually, you'll reach the tipping point where there's no turning back, and maybe you'll even open Pandora's box. But through it all, you'll realize that crossing the Rubicon was never about certainty. It was about stepping into the unknown, trusting that the journey ahead will lead you to exactly where you're meant to be. Life is full of Rubicons. The question is, are you ready to cross yours?
Like, share, comment, and subscribe for more episodes. Thank you for watching and continue to rise and excel.